And we back with yet another episode of R&R. It's Jamerson Ballard. I'm the host. How y'all doing this afternoon, man? Let me see. Get my banner popping. Um, I hope y'all can hear me all right. I'm kind of annoyed a little bit. I'm going on Instagram and YouTube at the same time for the first time. Got the echo, so it's gonna take me a little getting used to. But we here, man. What's happening, man? Um, I got a lot to share with y'all today. Been a little bit of a delay. I know normally I go live on a different. Uh, can y'all see my sign? All right. Look, I've been a little bit apprehensive because it is a lot of new stuff going on at one time. Uh, the sign was bothering me last time. It was like not bright enough, but it was too bright. It was a lot, man. But I appreciate y'all sticking with me, man, because woo, I'm always like I'm not always, but I'm getting more and more out of my comfort zone on the regular basis, and I can't let mediocrity stop me. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what today's show is entitled, "The Purge." That's the title of today's show. Mm. The Purge, yeah, yeah, and not like violence, killing type of purge, but I'm saying like what if you do in order for you to sky up to the next level, you're going to have to get rid of some of the individuals that are in your proximity because they weighing you down, bro. They might not even be. They're definitely not that serious for you to go to the next level. They just they don't understand that, but you're not vibrating high enough to keep them from wanting to be around, and that's not their fault. I'm gonna let Napoleon Hill explain to y'all a little bit about what's going on with that, and then I'll comment on some of it as we go. Let me see. Share my screen. Mm, mm. It's really far down. Okay. Let's go.
Don't break it now. It will become your coffin. Most of the people in your life are killing your future. Not with violence, but with mediocrity. Not with fists, but with fatigue. They do it by slowing your pace, dulling your mind, questioning your fire. They do it in subtle tones, small minded laughter, and useless opinions. And if you keep walking with them, you will die with them, not in body, but in spirit. That is the truth few men will ever say aloud. The average man is terrified.
Are y'all following me? Are y'all here with me on that? Can you hear me? Instagram, are y'all in there with me? All right, can y'all hear me? Because it's I hope y'all can get what I'm trying to put down when it comes to that, man. Did you hear what the man just said? Most men are surrounded by mediocrity. Now I was listening to the 19 Keys. And 19 Keys sounded like he was super frustrated with the fact that he's surrounded by not that he's but like the people that are around, like they act like they're ready for war, they're ready to do what's necessary, but they're not ready for war. They're not ready to get free or die trying. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that'll piss you off. That'll get to you when but you can't make somebody ready by arguing with them or getting upset with them or trying to, what I mean, push them to. You just gotta kind of keep going. We let him finish what he was saying.
Terrified to admit that his circle reflects his own indecision. He would rather pretend his failures are random than confess that he chose companions who made failure feel acceptable. But I am not here to console you. I am here to wake you. You must understand this law. Your environment is not neutral. It is a mirror of your inner condition. If the people around you are slow to act, vague in thought, and allergic to purpose, it is because you are vibrating at the level that summoned them. Do not resent them. Do not blame them, but do not keep them. I will show you how to attract high energy people into your life, but I must first strip you of the illusion that you deserve them. Great men and women are not drawn to weakness. They do not gather where doubt is worshipped and dreams are mocked. They are pulled to fire, and you must become the fire before they will stand beside you. If you stay with me through this speech, I will not hand you shallow inspiration. I will hand you mental dynamite, laws you can apply immediately to ignite your purpose, reprogram your subconscious, eliminate the weak, and attract those who multiply your faith. This
Now that I probably lost half of y'all because it's hurtful. It's hurtful, first of all, for anybody to understand it. It's all your fault. For the weak, accountability is like possible. You know what I'm saying? So, oh yeah, and shout out to the Red Gang, man. Shout out to the Capital Letter Club, man. It's like kryptonite, though. The accountability for anybody that's not built for the leadership aspect. You know what I mean? Really, I don't know if I'm. This echo is throwing me off, man. I have to feel this Instagram because I can. God, I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know if that. Can y'all hear that? Is anybody? Let me ask Instagram. Can you? Is that bothering y'all? I'm gonna get. I'm just. I'm just gonna kill that. I don't really. Can y'all still hear me? I can't. I'm gonna have to figure something else out. Maybe I'm tripping. I hope I didn't lose y'all with that first part because it's we 11 minutes in, but I can't throw out the whole thing. Trying to, man, I finally got my sound together. I'm not gonna do another episode where it's not pristine because I'm preparing myself to be catapulted into the YouTube sphere where it's like I got to get past this 12, 13 view threshold. I need to get into the hundreds and the thousands, and I put an enormous amount of pressure on myself to be successful when it comes to these kind of things. And sometimes I'm not trying to let the small things bother me, but the small things is what I have to kind of. I got my intro, I got the ticker, I got all this going on. But I did want to make sure the reason why I got StreamYard is so I could have multiple venues going at the same time. But it's, like I said, I'm not used to the echo, and I don't know if y'all can hear it, but it's doing a number on me, man, to think about how bad it might be translating online. Because it's the game room. I don't know. Y'all can see the sign. The sign say the game room is, it's clearer than it has been. But I definitely got to do some more to get the 1080 situation, HD situated. But I can't just not do shows because, I'm at the point where it's like, I feel like I'm at like this, where I'm about to kind of cross a threshold. And I don't want to stop with what I've got going on or kill all the I have going at this point, right? Because it's the temptation to kind of just, like I said, remain mediocre and stay where I was and not be so big on trying to complete things. It's like you gotta complete tasks. You gotta come up with goals, complete the task, and not be so afraid of failure that you just stay stagnant. Because that's where the mediocre live. And I'm not going to be a party to that. But like I said, another thing that a lot of people don't understand is that it's your associations, because you are who you hang around. We've talked about that constantly. But like I said, man, if you're surrounded by Rudy Poos, goof troops, and goobers, guess what? You're a Rudy Poo. And you might be the king of the Rudy Poos. You might be top goober, but you're still a goober. You know what I mean? The powerful won't hang around the mediocre. It don't mix. And if you're not moving mean enough to where because he'll say later on in this video, it's like you can't wait, or you can't, what is it? You can't hope that people will want to gravitate to your situation. You have to do it as if you're already top dog, and if you build it, they will come, but they're not gonna come first and then like watch you build it. And they're not looking for no company. They're looking for individuals that's doing their own thing too that they can merge with, and that's high energy, individuals, not somebody that's like. They're not looking for companionship as much as it is, like, you know what I mean? And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in the next episode that I got lined up for y'all, man, because it's like, we don't necessarily, especially in our community, in the foundational Black American community, we're learning, but it's just not common for people to think further down than a year or 3, 5. You know, I talked to a buddy of mine today, and he was like, you know, we was talking about planting trees. And it's like, man, it's going to be about 40 years before you can get some fruit off a tree, man. I mean, not 40 years, but you know what I mean? Like, he was like, yeah, a lot of the older, you know, sayings would say stuff like, you know, you won't be able to enjoy the shade of the tree that you plant today, but it's not for you per se. It's for the next generation. How many of you all can say that you're doing things for your next generation to be better off than you was truly? Because secretly you want to be able to enjoy some of that too. But at the end of the day, like, we're not thinking 100 years down, 200 years out. We you know, you're not drinking generationally and what sacrifices you have to make today in order for them to enjoy things that you might not ever get to taste. You know what I mean? It's real, but everybody is operating, and I say everybody, but you know, a lot of the smaller minded individuals are operating, you know, check to check, day to day. You know, some lady was saying on the show, excuse me, I was watching earlier, it was like everybody's one bad decision away from being out of there. And I'm like, not everybody is on that. And if you are surrounded by individuals who are on that, guess what? You about to be one of them too. So what are you going to do to separate yourself from those individuals? And it's like, you got to go harder in everything that you do. You got to go harder. You got to stop being, you know, comfortable. You have to find ways to create discomfort so that you can accomplish some of the goals that you got in mind. You know, you're not finna get no 6-pack, you know, not being hungry. You're going to be hungry sometimes. You know what I mean? You got to be able to be all right with that. But I digress. In an effort to kind of keep this show in a moderate time frame, because I still got you know, it's Friday, so I got a lot more to do, phone calls to make, and ensure that people are where they need to be. I'm gonna keep this thing going. So hopefully I don't have to make any phone calls to make sure that people are where they need to be, or because they haven't, I might actually need to make a text to, well, I already talked to one of my guards to make sure he's gonna be where he's supposed to be. A lot of the guys are already kind of actually what I got. Oh no, not yet. I got okay. But yeah, man, we live, we here. So we got a segment I like to call "Is That Right?" "Is That Right?" is brought to you by the Velvet Tiger on Reno and MacArthur. Check them out. Let them know Jamerson Ballard sent you. You'll get a free pre-roll with a purchase of $20 or better. And you know, they got the best hydroponics in the city, according to moi. It's a grower I like particularly. Banana seed. I don't know if you've been, or if you've had, or if you've indulged, but please, man, do yourself a favor, holler at that, man. Let me see. But it's a lot of people that are out there suffering because they didn't do the work to make sure that they aren't surrounded by the wrong type of people. And this can actually be more than just a inconvenience. It can sometimes be deadly. Some of you are coupled with somebody that doesn't believe the way that you believe, will doubt you at every step, is actually afraid of you succeeding, and will basically sabotage you in order to keep you at a level where they cannot have to be operating higher. And that can be devastating to realize. Some of y'all don't really want to know that. You know, you don't want to really examine your relationships close enough to see that the person that's with you is actually just, they're basically not happy with themselves. And so they might have just grabbed you just so they can have somebody that is not them, is operating at a level that they are just slightly above, so that they can always have somebody to talk shit to. And now, how the fuck did that feel when you like, wow, so this person don't really like you? Nah, they just like the fact that you ain't gonna never operate at a level that challenges them to make them, so that it's like a 7 kicking it with some 5s, so that they look better by proximity, not because they actually are a 9. They like don't look like a 7 next to some 5s. They look more like an 8 or a 9, and they feel good enough. But if you, as somebody that's trying to aim higher, start doing more and operating around them to make them feel like they ain't good enough, they ain't doing enough, or they not, what you think they're gonna do? The insults is coming. Who you think you is? You know what I mean? This is somebody that doesn't really value you, and they felt like you was less valuable than them, and they like, oh yeah, I kind of like you, fat. I don't really, you don't have to, like, wow, so I'm trying to be my best me, and you would rather me be somebody that you can hold on to without you having to really hold on for real. You just kind of like having some company. That's scary, man. I'm like the person I'm with, because if I decided I'm going to do something extra, it's like the support is there, because, you know, they automatically understand that there is a benefit, but you know, there's some gear that has to come with that, but they don't mind that, because, you know, they're, you know, focused on what's going to come with that as opposed to what they have to give up. You know what I mean? But some of y'all, like I said, it's not, they don't see that they, you know, they just don't like to think that they have to do more than they willing to do. So they just kick it with somebody like you. That's not going to require much, you know? And so, you know, you might have to, you might have to leave that broad that you with in order to get to where you're really trying to go. You might have to stop hanging with the people that you hanging with, bro. Because, like I said, it can be more than just an inconvenience. It can actually become deadly for some of y'all, man. You know, there's a guy that was I'll play the video, man, because I don't know how this is a little bit extreme, but here we go. We're going to get into it a little bit, man.
Well, this man is accused of shooting and killing his elderly grandparents. It happened last night in West Melbourne. A neighbor was also shot when that grandfather ran next door to get help. Fox 35's Randy Hildreth is joining us live in that neighborhood. So, Randy, the neighbor survived, and you spoke with her family today.
Yeah, good evening to you, Luann. The family is thankful that she survived and is doing okay, but their hearts are with the victims, the White family. So Mr. George White lived here. They say he ran across the street to their front door, ringing it to get their attention and to get help. They say they brought him inside, called 911, and then bullets started flying.
There.
Terry French counted up the bullet holes in the front of his house off Washington Street.
There's 5 of them, 6 of them.
Recounting the chaos and tragedy of Wednesday night.
You just react.
He says his family was sitting in their front room when their neighbor, George White, showed up asking for help. His wife, Mary White, had just been shot, and deputies say their grandson, 22-year-old Jeremiah Campbell, was responsible.
Grabbed George's arm and
Now, this man killed his grandparents. Are you seeing this? This man that killed his grandparents, he actually drove to come kill him.
and pulled him in and then shut the door and locked it.
French says his daughter started dialing 911 and then bullets started flying into their house. Investigators say Campbell had come across the street for his grandfather next.
Bam, 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 bam. My son took off for the kitchen. My daughter took off for the laundry room. My granddaughter stood up and took off for the hall. Mm-hmm. That's when she got hit in the back of the leg.
French says he got down on the ground to crawl away and saw George get hit.
Right where you are. And he turned and started heading to the hallway. That one there, one of them hit him in the back.
French says he's been neighbors with the Whites for over 30 years and now thinks a lot about the fact that George came over to him in his moment of terror. He says he's angry that their lives ended this way.
He's been such a good neighbor and a friend to me. And for anybody to want to kill him would just, I would like to know why.
And Campbell is being held with no bond. He is charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder, 1 count of attempted second-degree murder, and shooting into an occupied residence. Now, coming up new at 6, I'll tell you more about what we've learned about Campbell's background and the questions law enforcement officials still have as they...
Now, did y'all see that boy's face? That boy looked crazy. He looked crazy as hell. And the nigga don't live in Florida. The nigga drove from Texas to Florida to kill his grandparents and said something about now he could, some, I don't even know how you could prepare for something like that. You know, your grandkid came over to your crib, but the way he looked possessed with some evil. And you know, you got to get your discernment game up, man. Some of y'all don't got no. For those of you who don't have a relationship with God, man, you need to get one. Because there's some gifts that come with it that you're going to need. And one of them is the gift of discernment. You're going to need that, man, because some of these people, I mean, you know, they have an energy about them that you can kind of, you know, you want to avoid. You know, you can't allow just the blood relation to blind you for something like that, man. It'll get you toe up, man. Just because you know, screwing on somebody don't mean that they, you know, it's people that are having these deep-rooted issues within themselves that don't really like themselves. And it ain't necessarily altogether evident all in the beginning or right at first. And you with them. You know, and that's the relationship side. But it's like I said, these people that made children, they got kids. You know what I mean? They got grandkids. Some of these grandparents, they know they people is off. They know that the kid is off. They know that the kid or the people's spouse is off, and you know they might not be too welcoming to the kid because they like, look, hey, I don't know what's going on with your son, but he can't come over here no more. You got that discernment on you. You know, you used to, man, bro, I had a cold foster parent. They can't come over my house no more. She could just kind of, you know, some of them got mannerisms. You know, they come in, they looking all in your house and shit. They, you know, they trying to find something to steal. It's like, bro, you can't have no company come over here. I don't got no time for that. I don't want to hurt nobody out. Look, unless there's somebody you finna be like in your circle for real, don't bring them around here. And if I say that they can't come around there, that means that you need to start rocking with them because they got something wrong with them. But that's something that life kind of teaches you. You know, when you're a kid, you're like, man, I don't know why you don't like why do you? And a part of you probably know, but you ain't seen it yet. You ain't felt it yet. You ain't felt the, you know, the the full brunt of they bad decision making. You want to listen to before it come down all the way, because I'm telling you, brother, getting bailed out of jail, that ain't really, you know, going to jail period, but then waiting to get bailed out, hoping that they don't, because you know a good parent will probably just leave you in there. Now you in there eating oranges with orange on, hoping they get a sandwich or something, or you know, in there just looking crazy because you ain't listening, bro. And that's the least of your issues. You don't want to be, you know, dead or, you know, getting raped because you was hard headed, bro. But there's more. We got more. We ain't done yet. We got another one. We got another incident where I don't know what's going on with these individuals at this point, bro. You gotta watch yourself, man.
Tonight, we are getting the first look at the 14-year-old accused of killing his parents. This is Trevor Lee. Clay County deputies say he called 911 just after midnight Monday while standing in the parking lot of a church over a mile away from his home. I'm Tanika Hughes.
And I'm Ben Becker. Lee's parents were found dead inside their home on Silver Point and County Road 220. Action Jack's Madison Foglio's live in Middleburg. And Madison, you listened to two newly released 911 calls.
And Ben, one of those 911 calls came from Trevor's sister, Ayanna Russell, who's actually stationed out in California. The other came from Trevor himself, and much of Trevor's call was redacted. But one thing that we were able to hear is that he asked the dispatcher if he wanted to pray with him.
Wow.
Tonight, 911 calls give us a small glimpse into what happened moments after 14-year-old Trevor Lee allegedly killed his parents, David and Brandy. The Clay County Sheriff's Office released two 911 calls, one from Trevor and one from his sister, who's in California. She stayed on the phone with dispatchers for nearly 20 minutes while deputies tried to track down her brother and get into the home.
I knew my son had a guy right over.
According to a police report, Lee's mother and father were found in their bedroom. Both have been shot several times. Lee told police there was an argument at some point Sunday evening. Lee then allegedly left the house and walked over a mile to a church down the road, where he then called 911.
Well, I was going to ask if you could pray for me, man. Right now,
I'll definitely be praying for you, son.
Action News Jack spoke exclusively to Lee's sister, Ayanna Russell. She says despite this horrific tragedy, she still loves her little brother.
Did he make a mistake? Yes. He made a big mistake, a huge one. My little brother, he is not a monster.
Now, we reached out to the state attorney's office, and they told us that Lee had a detention hearing this morning in juvenile court and is now being held in jail. And when we asked the state attorney's office if they will charge him as an adult, they said, the spokesperson says it's still an active investigation, and they will let us know once that decision is made. And they did tell us, however, that Lee's next hearing will be August 13th in Clay County.
Oh. Mm. So yeah, the man killed his mom and dad, or his dad, but his I don't know if that's his stepmama or his real mama, because she had a different last name than his dad. But I thought he might have been of the dominant society, but he's actually mixed. He's gray, and I don't know. Can't really give us much detail on why he killed his dad and his stepmom or whatever she was. You know, maybe he read something or seen something. I don't know. He was saying that he seemed like he got a relationship with guy. It's not funny. He killed his parents, walked down the street a mile and called the police and told them to come get him. He had a buddy that told him like he's not a monster. He's not. I don't want people to remember him as a murderer, bro. That can't be a good person, man. If you didn't shot your parents several times because of something that was going on. I think he was about to have to get. I don't know if he was about to get kicked out. I don't know what was going on. They said when I seen another story about it, it was like it was too early in the investigation to really give it a whole. You know, it was just it's really sad, man, because you know you make so many sacrifices for your kids, man. If you're doing the right thing, I mean, the friends sound like the dude's parents was cool. He's like, man, they loved him like he was one of their kids. You know what I mean? They was cool. They was nice. They was, they fed him. They did all the stuff but I don't know what was going on behind closed doors. Was that man raping his boy or I don't know what was going on, because that's what they said was going on with the Menendez brothers. When I seen that movie was, not movie, but the show on Netflix, boy, that was crazy. And it really didn't say whether that was going on or not for sure, but it was like, it's got to be something. Now, I'm not saying that, because I'm not trying to victim blame and say that them people deserve to get shot, because they clearly didn't see it coming. I don't know who gun he used. He probably used his dad's gun. So y'all got to be careful about how y'all store y'all weaponry, man, and keep it locked up. But the kids see you. They know where it's at. They going to get it if they really feel like, it's like, so now this, and he didn't kill himself. So it's like, I don't know. Is he off? Who knows? But you gotta, you never know, man. You never know. All you can do is what you know how to do and keep yourself together. But definitely separate yourself from the weak and the lame and the goofy and the satanic. So you gotta do some homework, man. You gotta do some homework. You gotta do some digging. You gotta figure out who you with, who you got around you. You probably don't want to see too much more of that, but it's another one. This was a little different this time. And then we got one more after that. So stay tuned. Stay with me, y'all. This one is a little different. I guess this person wasn't having it. He wasn't going out, so he You know, his kids wasn't going to get out of pocket with him. He said, oh, no.
Well, listen to this. A Hudson father is behind bars accused of unloading a gun on his own son during a fight over moving out. Pasco County deputies say the man admitted he wanted to hurt his son. This was all caught on camera. News Channel 8's Georgia MacArthur joins us now live from the Pasco County Sheriff's Office. Now, Georgia, you spoke to that son today.
Yes, Paula, I spoke to the son. Not only that, he showed us videos from inside and outside of his home that captured the shooting, even up to his father calmly confessing to deputies he shot his son. His son says he tried to remain calm, even with his father holding two guns over him.
He never saw it coming.
One shot here, bullet still in me. And then a shot here, bullets right here.
Shot 7 times by the man who raised him.
And playing Xbox, and my father walks right up to me and pulls out two guns and shoots me 7 times. You never think that it would be your own family member.
Video from inside the family's living room shows the man's father approach him with a gun in each hand.
I was scared and just trying to figure out how to calm him down and how to get out of the house or get away from him and live.
Gregory Hannes says his dad, Timothy Snyder, was upset after Hannes tried to evict him from their home.
I put an eviction notice on the door Wednesday, and during our conversation while he was holding the guns over me and I was kind of pleading for my life in a sense of way, he mentioned that he was thinking about it for 2 days.
Hannes says he was able to dial 911 and stall, hoping help would arrive.
I was thinking to myself to use like keywords and trigger words that the 911 operator would be able to pick up and hint on.
When deputies arrived, the man's father confessed to shooting his son.
What was your intent for that? To harm him? Yeah, it really wasn't much of an argument. I just, pulled the gun out and started shooting.
While Hannes is left to recover, he says the wounds from that day will never heal.
He's my dad. I'm not going to get to see him anymore either. And then I think about my child. Like, she loves him. She's never going to get to see him.
Hannes told us by speaking out, he also wants to thank the 911 operators for staying on the phone and potentially saving his life. His father is being held without bond on attempted murder charges. Reporting live.
OG, you got to get the fuck out of here. Bro didn't want to get kicked out. He didn't want to get evicted, so he shot you. Hey man, look, some of them motherfuckers don't want to get they don't want to get purged. They don't want to be, removed. They serious about staying. They like it there. It's like, bro, it's not cool. You shot the man that raised you, shot you 7 times. It don't look like he shot him nowhere fatally, but you raised a gun and shot. He had 2 guns in his hand, bro. What the fuck? Hey man, y'all better, you better be careful about who you let in your house, man. Like I said, this is family. This is people that you think love and care about you, man. So it's like, I don't know. How do you let a nigga down easy when it's like, look, hey, yeah, you said you was gonna be out in 6 months. It's been a year, and I've been letting you stay, and like you ain't really doing nothing. I gotta get you up out of here. It's like, I seen a little dude. He's trying to, I guess he told his daughter she gotta leave. And she was just so disrespectful. He was talking shit to him, over talking him. Like she don't, she about 20, looked like, and she had 2 brothers. They were standing there too, like, yeah, you gotta go. Like they was all in agreement. This lady gotta go. I need to stay here till the 16th. Like, you don't get to negotiate no more. All your negotiating powers is out. And I guess because she, I don't know what she used to having happen. Maybe she was spoiled. That might have been a little bit of his fault. But dads don't usually want to see their daughters out there like that. But he was like, you're not. She's like, you gotta go. You gotta go. You're not respecting boundaries. You're not coming in at the right time. Whatever it was, she wasn't really trying to hear that shit. And she was like, fuck it. I'm not going nowhere. You're going to let me stay. And it's like, bro, you done took over this man's house. We got one last instance. And this is really pretty tragic. But this is, and these are kind of extremes, but this all happened in the last week. So it's not like I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck is in the water in these areas. But it's not like it's, maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's something in the water. Now this is the friends.
Remembering a murder victim. Now at 10, those who knew this young woman, 24-year-old Malia Bess, are honoring the life she lived. The apartment complex manager was killed while at work at a Jackson apartment complex. Thanks for joining us here tonight at 10. I'm Megan West.
And I'm Troy Johnson. Jackson police have her husband in custody tonight, accusing him of her murder. The situation unfolded at Westwood Apartments just after 11 this morning. Police said that Bess's husband, 52-year-old Ron Allen, surrendered more than 2 hours after the standoff began. Chief Joseph Wade said it took several surrounding agencies to arrest Allen.
35th homicide of the year compared to 71 this time last year. We've shown a drastic reduction in homicides. But again, this is domestic related. This is a husband taking his wife's life, then putting all of these other people's lives in danger, including law enforcement. Very sad day, but I'm glad that we were able to mitigate this situation without any further loss of life.
Friends and family are mourning the loss of Bess. Those closest to her say the relationship had become dangerous, and now they're sharing her story in hopes of helping someone else.
I legitimately cannot believe this. I will remember this day for the rest of my life.
16 WAPT's Crystal Tisme joins us live from the
The Westwood apartment community in Jackson was struck with tragedy Thursday after a standoff turned deadly. 12 new.
The apartment complex manager was killed while at work at a Jackson apartment complex. Thanks for joining us here tonight at 10. I'm Megan West.
And that was tragic, man. I'm trying to get to another. There's another one I seen that I might not be able to get it. That's all I really have right now anyway, but it was another scenario where that one was actually like I guess she was cheating on her husband with a new husband too. They had just got married probably like less than a few months ago. But the apartment manager was cheating on her boyfriend with the maintenance man of the apartment complex she worked at. And the husband got wind of it. He an older cat too. That was probably like 20 years apart. I don't know exactly how old he was versus how old she was, but he wasn't having it, man. He got wind of it. He couldn't take it. I don't know why a person would kill, a person behind something like that because she wanted to give her pussy to somebody else, but he couldn't take the fact that her word didn't mean shit, and maybe he didn't see no way they try to get, now it looked like it was a crime of passion, but I'm not saying that it's never okay for a person to kill a person. There's no real excuse for you to kill nobody. I mean, not behind nothing, except for somebody trying to kill you. Now, I didn't. Hey, it's some pretty heinous scenarios where it's like, okay, well, what about this? What about that? And it's, if it looked like somebody's trying to do you harm, and you can't really differentiate how much harm they about to do, and you at a disadvantage, or are you at a point where you can defend yourself and you forced to do that, then that's what you had to do. I seen a lady or a dude, they road raging, and man walked up to this man's car with a gun in his hand. Now he had it pointed down, but he had a gun in his hand. The other dude shot him through the door, and he killed him, point blank range. You can't act like you finna be coming over trying to negotiate with somebody with a gun in your hand and you talking. Ain't no more talking. That's different, but this was like, she dishonored him by screwing somebody else in. But hey, man, for all of y'all out there, that ain't never cool. But you got to know who you're dealing with. Some of these people can't take that kind of heartbreak. You know what I mean? She ain't been with him long enough to even know who he is enough to decide whether she can. Why is you cheating? Again, I'm not trying to victim shame. I'm just saying, why is you cheating on this man? And you just got married. Why you get married if you wasn't really trying to be with that man like that? I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect. I'm just saying, now she gone, man. It was a lady that got killed by her lesbian lover. And the lesbian looked like a dude. I don't know why she with a dude looking chick instead of with just a dude, but she didn't got killed. Now she didn't had however many kids she had before this lady was with her. And it's like it looked like she conditionally gay. They had problems. They were going back and forth in and out of their relationship. These lesbian relationships even not even just lesbian, but gay relationships can be the most tragic or the most toxic when they get that way. But it's like the only reason this lady is doing what you say is because she feel like it right now, bro. Y'all both the same height. Y'all both same way. Y'all the same. She don't really feel like being dominated right now. You used to her letting you dominate, but it's like, she didn't had dude after dude after dude after dude, and she can't really get it together with the dude, so she want to do it a girl, and you thinking she finna change for you. She ain't even no real gay lady. She got kids already, so she probably got caught trying to get dick or something, and she got hit with a clip. I seen a gay lady today. She said she's number one stud. She said you ain't no real stud if you ain't a virgin. She ain't never been hit. Said she ain't never had onions. She don't know if she like onions or not. She ain't never had it. She ain't never used her pussy. She just lick ass and pussy. She using her tongue. I don't even look. I don't know. If you jacking off, you're not a virgin. So I don't know. She ain't never been penetrated. So I guess she. At any rate, man, that's pretty much all I got for is that right, man. And that's just that's a lot, bro. But and like I said, it's just you got to be careful of who you surround yourself with, man. It could be deadly. It could turn out wrong real fast. It don't take years sometimes for it to play out wrong. They gotta. Oh wait, before I go on to the next segment, there is a new drug that's on the streets. You gotta check out this for all of y'all that be trying to escape. Like, your life is so stressful, I can't take it. I gotta get it away. I need this, they got this shit for you. But you probably don't want none. Just check it out. Some shit called Fly Sky. Skyfly.
A new drug has been making the rounds in our region, and officials are warning that it can be deadly. It's called Fly Sky, and our Chris DeRose has more on what the public needs to be on the lookout for.
Here in Fayette County over the last few days, there have been at least 2 overdose deaths from a drug called Fly Sky, and now officials want people to be aware that this drug is in the community. The drug Fly Sky, as it's sometimes labeled on bags sold on the street, is heroin laced with medetomidine, which is a tranquilizer used in veterinary medicine. Fayette County District Attorney Michael Abel says that users need to be aware that this drug can be lethal.
My understanding is that medetomidine is a drug that is not affected by Narcan. So if you overdose on medetomidine, Narcan is not going to save you.
Abel says that anyone who may have a bag of this Fly Sky drug can turn it into authorities at several places in the county, including local police stations and the Crime Stoppers office. No questions asked. He also says that not only are local and state police working to get these drugs off the street, but that his office will prosecute those who are responsible for delivering these drugs into the community.
We want people to be safe. We want everybody to be alive and to be healthy. You just don't know what you're getting anymore on the street.
Now, not only is this drug popping up in Fayette County and the Pittsburgh area, but it's also being seen in places like Philadelphia and Chicago. We're going to have more information about this drug with this story on our website, kdka.com. But for now, reporting in Uniontown, Fayette County, Chris DeRose, KDKA TV News.
New details about a Clay County teen.
Yeah, nah, that ain't what you want, man. It sounds like that one drug, New Jack City, that they got going on out there in Baltimore, though. But they might not be cutting it with the same thing. Veterinary drugs, though, they using animal drugs. Fentanyl is basically animal tranquilizer, but for those that don't know. So they might be trying to find ways to cut their dope and make it strong because the fentanyl is being cracked down on, but that ain't really what you're supposed to be doing. What's up with the East Coast? Damn, Canada must have been really sending it out because they like, man, what do we do now? Narcan can't save you. So you OD on that, bro. You just dead. And the crazy part about heroin addicts, they hear somebody die, they want that shit. That's what they want. Like, oh shit, nigga want to damn near die. So I'm boy, I don't know what kind of drug dealers is y'all boy, killing your customer base with that shit, man. That don't even sound smart. But look, if you in Pittsburgh, if you in Chicago, if you in the East Coast, bro, watch out for that shit, bro. They don't just stop with the heroin a lot of times. Sometimes they start crossing it over and putting it in other shit like cocaine. So if you doing recreational drugs, this stop. Ain't no safe way to do this drug nowadays, man. These drugs is killing people, man. These drug dealers is trying to kill you. They ain't necessarily giving a fuck about your life at all. Not that they ever did, but it's really bad now, bro. So, yeah, if you're kicking it with people that do drugs like that, stop kicking it with them, bro, because it's going to make you, it's possible to make you curious, man. And you don't need to be curious about death like that. But that's all I got for Is That Right? Yeah, it's a tragic, it's a sad set of affairs, man, for people to just be out here getting killed and by your grandson and, getting shot at by your dad and all this old shit. But hey, man, we got to keep it moving, man. Now, next up is a segment I like to call Celebrity Spotlight. And in Celebrity Spotlight, we got first, shout out to our sponsors. You have to forgive me because it's been a minute. But Celebrity Spotlight is brought to you by Kicks, the urban shoe brand, brought to you by yours truly. So I'll leave a link in the description box and y'all check those out, man. I got a new shoe about to drop. As soon as I'm going to grab some and then, you see me in them, then you know they're available. So, but first up, now we gonna keep it in the same vein. That's how I like to do with these shows. It takes me a while sometimes to, try to line it up the right way because there's so much stuff going on. I want to talk about everything, which is another reason why it took me a little bit of a minute, to get to this, but no more excuses. Sha'Carri Richards. Now, I like her. I've been rooting for her. She with a new dude now, and apparently she didn't beat up on him in the airport. So without further ado, let's see what she got going on with that, man, because it's just another one of them things, man. Yeah, she pushing him. She pushing him hard too. Yeah, she pushing him and shit. He ain't even doing shit like that. I mean, I don't know what he said to her. I don't know. It don't make no sense for her to be beating up on that man like that, man. I mean, they both athletes, so it could have been. I don't know. She was in a relationship with women before. I thought she was gay too. For all y'all, I thought she was gay. Like she was. I don't even remember dude's name, bro. But it's like I did hear him responding to what happened. Like like she's going through something, or she must be going through something, or something like that. He didn't really put no blame on her for the incident. So it sounded like he probably still with her, but she got arrested. He's like she didn't deserve to be arrested, I think he was saying, but she tried to get him arrested. That's what tried to happen, but they came, I guess they got her instead because they seen the footage. And so that's the worst type of, it ain't really no get back after that. You got a girl that's gonna call the police on you and you ain't even nothing that's now you whooping on her and you trying to, hurt her, you really trying to, get off on her like a dude or something, and that's totally different. That's not cool. But you being shoved and pushed and you abused, like she abusing him. And he just like, stop it. He probably don't care too much about it, but it's like it looked bad. And the killer part is that she's trying to get you locked up. Because when you're an athlete, you got to be on planes. You got to be in the airports. You got to get where you got to go. You can do it on a train, but you're going to lose out on certain shit. It's just like, why would you risk messing up your quote unquote boyfriend's career or hindering him in his career pursuits by getting him wrapped up in the airport? When you get on the no-fly list, you can't go nowhere. You can't do shit. That's what you risking. Now, I don't know if she on one, and they, it didn't happen on a plane. I don't know what the stipulations are in order for it to be on the no-fly list, but definitely I can't fuck with you no more list. You trying to get me fucked off, and I'm not sad about you going to jail. Little bitty bitch, what the fuck is you? Keep your hands to yourself, man. Why is you touching and pushing on me in this motherfucking airport with all these people looking like you? I can't even act like you didn't do the shit because you know what I mean? I can forgive you and go on my life and not fuck with you no more, but I can forgive you pushing me and like being mad and like, whatever, but you trying to get me locked up and then, trying to lie on me and shit. Like, get the fuck away from that girl, bro. Get the fuck away from any girl that's on that shit with you, fellas. You don't never know a person till they mad at you, bro. Shit could be good. You can think about all the good shit, all the time she done sucked your dick and, did all that cool shit you wanted, bought you something. It's like, all that shit damn near go out the fucking window. You trying to get me locked up, send me to jail, and then you bail me out or something. Then, oh, I'm sorry, bitch. Well, how about not doing none of this? Bro, need to stop playing with himself. Next up, though, that's just, I ain't finna dedicate a whole bunch of time to that shit. That's bullshit. Next up, we got the Earn Your Leisure boys got into it with that nigga Wall Street Trapper. Talking about that nigga owed them some money or something, man. And they had each other. They ain't, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck? How is financial literacy niggas is beefing? Like, it ain't no safe space. You can't not beef with nobody, man. Comedians ain't supposed to be beefing. Rappers, that's almost normal. But these niggas, this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Everybody copied us. If they got a stock show, they copy. If they went to another continent, they copied us. These are the same people that'll ask you for help and then say, no, I'm self-made.
Or won't repay that loan back from 3 years ago. Send my money back, bro.
We done talk, bro. On that show, you said need to pay back my $3 million. I mean, the money I had from 3 years ago. Bro, we just talked on the phone literally just now. And he was like, hey, bro, I ain't say that, dog. When y'all start poking at a man's ego, when y'all start poking at a man's character, that's some dangerous waters. Nobody not copying y'all, bro. And especially not me. Financial literacy should not be beefing with each other.
Rashad Bilal and Ian Dunlop get called out by Wall Street Trapper. That's right. There's beef brewing in the financial literacy.
And I'm supposed to say this, and I may have neglected to say this. All of these is fair use. Fair use. But yikes. Why? And $3 million, bro? Is that what you borrowed? I like Wall Street Trapper too, man. I can't believe it. I don't know what the hell.
Community, something I thought we would never, actually I knew we would see it. And it's largely because all of these financial podcasters, they trying to really be like flossing on each other. So what?
Yeah, I don't even want to see no more. I'm actually kind of turned off by the whole thing because it's like, what is you now? The Earn Your Leisure dude was on there talking about how much money he got and his clothes and where he been, and I'm not mad at that. You should be happy, that you was able to do those things. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that if Wall Street Trapper owed Brush some money, he shouldn't just get off scot-free, but we got to get to a point where we kind of dealing with a lot of this shit behind closed doors, bro. Now, if he had something going, he didn't keep his word, the character is all. I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of glad I didn't take his course. I probably should have still took the course because, bro, giving out some good game, but maybe he needed the course to help to pay Brett back. 3 years. $3 million is a lot of money, though, but 3 years, he talking a lot of, like, how he be winning on the stock. Like, he should have been paid, bro, at least half of that back in 3 years. He ain't had no intention of maybe, bro, he ain't got to pay me back. I don't think he said no shit like that, though, but who riding him on the show, man? And, oh, man, that's crazy. I guess, you got to kind of shame niggas into doing what the fuck they supposed to do, bro. It was a long time before That nigga Zoe Williams paid Corey Holcomb back his bread. And that was like a little 10 piece, like 10 stacks. You know, and I just seen the clip of that earlier where Aries Spears got, you know, elbowed because he was, you know, kept trying, bro, because he light skinned. Like, you know, like, look, man. At any rate, I don't think that's cool, bro. I mean, you know, how you broke and you in financial literacy. You know, you supposed to be doing all right and you can't pay back loans. That's Wall Street. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. But y'all cats over there earn your leisure. I heard some shit. I ain't gonna even go into it because I ain't got nothing to substantiate any of these accusations. But it was like, you know, I just get irritated with the conscious community supposedly scamming the conscious community. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with that shit, bro? I don't know. Last thing I got is your boy. No. That ain't the last thing I got. Yo Gotti. Yo Gotti is a suspect in Dolph's murder. And it looked like he about to get, you know, looked at behind that. Which is, you know, if you did that, then yeah, you need to be because I mean, you know, man, that shit was some hater shit anyway. You know, I ain't got time.
Of killing young Dolph in 2021. Now, most people get locked up for this and they don't get bond. You know, isn't this a danger bill or bond on $50 million? It's backwards. This makes no sense whatsoever. That's what leads me to believe there has to be something deeper going on here. So, Govan was indicted in 2022. Been out on bond since 23. He was expected in court Monday. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button. Let's get right into the news. All right, so we got young Dolph trial continuing. We got Hernando Govan, who's allegedly the ringleader of this whole thing with Straight Drop and everybody else. Supposedly he's the one who took the money, and they didn't really get paid anything because I guess the second half wasn't paid. This guy's daughter lost his life in Texas after the fact. It's crazy. So a judge ruled. So he recently went to court. He's one of the people who hasn't gone to court. He hasn't gone to court and like had his whole trial yet. A judge ruled pretrial motions in the state's response in the court rulings in his case will be sealed until further notice because he rejected a plea deal in the case, which is crazy. You know, they're being very lenient with him. Almost.
Look, I didn't screen that properly. Because some of these be so, the AI voice annoys me, bro. So I'll be trying to not get that, but that didn't really say anything about what there's some of those videos be so long. I try to pick like the shortest one so I can kind of, react to it while we, but that one was going to be, look, I was aware of who Brett was, but I don't want to hear about that, bro. And I don't know if y'all do either. I just know that Yo Gotti is under investigation for the murder of young Dolph now, which is, it took them long enough. I mean, maybe they actually do something right and get this together, but I mean, it was some other stuff like did Yo Gotti have Big Juke took down so he wouldn't speak on him? Because I mean, I'm pretty sure now that he gone though, it's if he do get wrapped up, Big Juke about to, be the one who orchestrated everything as far as like that. That seemed like the most logical thing. Like since he dead, it's like okay, he gonna have to take the rap for it. Dead man can't do no time. So I don't know, man. I hate to think that, but it looked like, with them beefing with each other, it was all, over some, some ego shit. And Yo Gotti just one of them type of dudes that beefed his way to the top and had to keep beefing to keep it rocking. That's why you don't really want to, you got to be careful about how you approach power, because what you do to get it, you got to keep doing that to keep it. And just like what you do when you with relationships, what you do to get her, you got to do that to keep her. And how you start a relationship is how it ends. So you don't want to be on that, bro. You don't want to be. That's a lot of us different ways to become what you're trying to do, but you don't necessarily want to be that one. The one that got me though, and it ain't really get me because I kind of seen it, but your boy Travis Hunter. Shout out to Shador Stevens, by the way, because I was telling my boys at the barbershop that they're gonna start him before the regular season. I think he might be actually playing now, starting for the Cleveland Browns. So I'll catch that whenever I get through with this. But Travis Hunter is about to get divorced, I guess, from old girl. Like she trying to get 40 mil up out of him, but she might be going for even more than that now. Like she going to 70. So you're gonna have to file bankruptcy just to pay her off. And it's tragic, man.
They got married in Tennessee, where there's no time limit for a spouse to become eligible.
And when God gets ready to make you a great woman, you'll know he's going to make you great by how you suffer.
You ain't never had no girl. So why y'all talking about?
They got married in Tennessee, where there's no time limit for a spouse to become eligible.
And when God gets ready to make you a great woman, you'll know he's going to make you great by how you suffer.
You ain't never had no girl. So why y'all talking about me? Find something else to talk about. Talk about my girl. Go talk about your girl. Go find a girl. Go find a life.
In the worst conceivable way, Travis Hunter recently learned that his wife, Leanna Lean, has been having extramarital affairs, and he is not taking it well after supposedly catching her with one of his Jaguars colleagues this time. Travis is seeing firsthand why so many people, including his mentors and relatives, appear to oppose his union with Leanna. Insiders claim that Leanna is preparing to file for divorce just 2 months after getting married to Travis, as if the infidelity was not terrible enough. What is the worst? Although Travis did not sign a prenuptial agreement, many are now questioning who was telling lies. Was Travis truly unaware of Leanna's true nature from the beginning? Was his money the only reason she married him?
It wasn't my type.
I wasn't her type.
I left him in my DMs for
Bro, she mad as fuck. I mean, he ain't no prize, but she is very mid. So she been coached throughout that whole process. I think her brother let her know that Drell was who he was because she wasn't really fucking with him like that. But 40 mil married in Tennessee on purpose because they have these weird laws where it's like you don't have to be limited to how much time you got to be married to a person before you can file for divorce and get whatever alimony you got coming. Saying that it was like the venue that she wanted, but it was really that. Goofy, bro, goofy. And you don't have to be that. I mean, I don't know how much money y'all got out there y'all working with, but I'll tell you that you probably don't want to necessarily get married in Tennessee if you got some bread. She said that she want to get married in Tennessee and you from a different state, you might want to look at that. You might want to question that. Yikers. Look, man. We've been going for about an hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to keep it short, man. I got something from Worldview, but it ain't really much. The Worldview is a show, a segment of the show that we got that deals with like what's going on in the world around us. And I'm of this kind of, because we're trying not to go to World War III right now, and I'm just hoping that we don't, man. But apparently Trump and Putin is supposed to meet up so they can kind of kill the tension between them. But it's one more thing. I wasn't sure about. I guess it's a $50 million reward for the arrest of Venezuela's president or whatever. So let's look at that real quick, I guess. So we already past the hour mark.
Fox, I'm Andrew Kraft. Thanks for being with us. We're now at the bottom of the hour. Let's keep it moving with more of these top headlines. A video message posted on social media within the last hour by Attorney General Pam Bondi. This is the message she's seeking to convey here, saying today the Justice Department and State Department are announcing a $50 million reward for information leading to the arrest of Nicolas Maduro. Maduro, the disputed leader of Venezuela here. Let's listen to Bondi make this announcement here.
Today, the Department of Justice and State Department are announcing a historic $50 million reward for information leading to the arrest of Nicolas Maduro. Maduro uses foreign terrorist organizations like TDA, Sinaloa, and Cartel of the Suns to bring deadly drugs and violence into our country. To date, the DEA has seized 30 tons of cocaine linked to Maduro and his associates, with nearly 7 tons linked to Maduro himself, which represents a primary source of income for the deadly cartels based in Venezuela and Mexico. Cocaine is often laced with fentanyl, resulting in the loss and destruction of countless American lives.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. And I get his ass. Get his ass. Get him. Get him. Get him. But that's all I got for Worldview, man. Now the segment I like to call "Don't Be a Weirdo" is I've been this is not cool, but it's like kind of funny because it's not harmless. It's very, very weird. Now, Don't Be a Weirdo is sponsored in part by Acquisition, the fragrance brought to you by yours truly, which will be made available soon. Please check us out, man, when it comes available and get acquired. But yeah, let's get a look at this dude right quick, because this is, man, it's actually pathetic.
New tonight at 11 is a brazen Burbank butt-sniffing bandit back at it. Burbank police say the same crouching creeper they first encountered in 2021 has been arrested again. This video is from a similar case we reported on back in 2023. Burbank police identify the man as Khalees Crowder. Detectives say they responded Tuesday to a report of a suspicious person loitering in the women's department in Nordstrom Rack in the Burbank Empire Center. When they got there, the man was already gone, but he was soon spotted inside the nearby Walmart. Police say they watched him on Walmart surveillance cameras as he entered the women's clothing section. That's where police say they witnessed Crowder crouching near a woman and sniffing her. They arrested him, on charges of loitering with intent to commit a crime. His bail set at $100,000.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What is you doing, sir? You sniffing butts live while they walking around? How do you feel like you was gonna get away with that with cameras everywhere? You know, it'd be equally weird to see you sniffing people's seats as they got up from places, but you trying to sniff them while they walking around at a bookstore. You see that nigga how he look with his ears and shit? He damn near look like a fucking alien, bro. You weird as hell. So you a sex offender and you a butt sniffer, the butt sniffing bandit. What is there left to say, man? Don't do that. Don't fucking do that. Don't do that. You're a weirdo if you do that shit. If you like to smell ass, you need to get a girl that likes for you to smell her ass, and you smell her ass in private, like normal freaks, not in public where people like are being weirded out by your freakiness and you violating people with your nose, nigga. Now I seen a nigga like a security guard. He had found some girl that let him lick her ass while he was at work. She's standing up. He just licking butt flakes. I guess his coworker was filming him somewhere. He's like, he looked up from around her ass and then went back to. There's people out there that like that kind of shit is what I'm saying, bro. You don't gotta, you can maybe put a post up or something, see if one of them weird dating sites or, one of them OnlyFans browsers charge you a little extra, you can sniff her ass or something, but this is not the way to go, sir. Last but not least, we got who got active. Now, who got active is look, we just gonna get into it, man, because who got active is probably one of my favorite parts of the show. I'm gonna let the video do it, and I'm gonna let the video let y'all know what's going on. Fair use, by the way. Fair use. This is a group. This ain't just one individual. This is the group. They did their thing.
Now, a crime happening across the country in Los Angeles where neighbors have banded together to protect their mail, which they say has been stolen for weeks now. They confronted the man they say is the thief, and it got really ugly with one of the residents pulling out pepper spray. Jim Murray has details.
A suspect is taken down by a band of citizens fed up with their mail getting stolen.
What's up, buddy? You like to steal mail?
The suspect, wearing a bucket hat and orange shirt, tries to flee on a scooter, but he's pepper sprayed.
You like to steal mail?
Like to steal mail?
These neighbors join in, forming a citizens' brigade of crime fighters.
Where are you going?
Leave me alone. An all-out knockdown fight ensues as the suspect tries to get in his car.
Leave me alone!
Listen as one of the neighbors smashes his windshield.
Get him.
They also slashed his tires. Residents here in the Studio City neighborhood of Los Angeles say they've been tormented for many months by brazen mail thefts. And when they finally caught the alleged thief red-handed, they decided it was time to take action.
And then he whipped up the same scooter with the same duffel bag. Everything matched.
You knew what the suspect looked like, and you saw him.
Yeah, he actually robbed this apartment complex 4 times in the past 4 days. So he has come every night.
Surveillance cameras sure seem to have caught the suspect in the act. He walked into the lobby with a shopping bag and used a master key to clean out the mail. Then he left.
It escalated almost immediately when I said, hey, do you like to steal our mail? He then charged at me and I pepper sprayed him.
So the folks around here are so fed up and they're happy that you're kind of standing up for them?
Not everyone likes to see fighting. I don't like to fight. I just want things to stop. Leave my stuff alone. Stay off my street. You like to steal mail?
The residents hope the video will help catch the suspect.
Oh, they still ain't caught him, but they put him on blast. Timothy, and I mean, I guess this bravery. You are this week's activated individual of the week, man. Congratulations, man. I don't know if pepper spray is enough for some of y'all. Don't be out there doing that shit, bro. Get shot. But out there stealing mail though, so I don't know. Maybe he didn't think that mail was a big deal. Mail is a federal offense. You ain't supposed to be fucking with people's mail, man. Leave people mail alone. Motherfuckers want their coupons and their junk mail and shit, or their checks or whatever they got coming. Leave people shit alone, man. This motherfucker in the same bucket hat every time he doing the crime. Dumbass. I might. Anyway, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the show, man. Y'all have a good weekend, man. I'll see y'all next week, man. This is Jamerson Ballard signing off.